When putting together your clarinet for the first time, it's a good idea to set the case on a flat surface, like on a table or on the floor, instead of on your lap, until you can get it balanced just right. Also, this way, if the case is accidentally opened upside down, the clarinet won't be damaged. Before opening the latches, make sure that the case is facing in the right direction. Usually there will be some sort of sticker on the side of the case letting you know this side up. Once you've worked this out, undo the latches and open up the case. The clarinet has several sections. We'll go through them individually before we put the instrument together. Each section must go in the correct place in the case or it won't close properly and you might damage your instrument. So memorize where they go. Practice taking everything out and putting it back in a few times until you get it perfect. The clarinet pieces are as follows: the mouthpiece, the barrel, the upper joint, the lower joint, and finally the bell. The mouthpiece has three parts: the mouthpiece cap, the ligature, and the mouthpiece itself. This little piece of wood is called the reed, and it will be attached to the mouthpiece. If you have a brand new clarinet, you'll see that the corks on the instrument are dry. Before putting together the clarinet, you'll need to put cork grease on the corks. The cork grease is in a little tube that looks like chapstick, but it isn't. Put a pretty good amount on each cork and rub it in with your fingers. You won't need to do this all the time, but it's good to check from time to time to see if extra cork grease might be needed. Next, carefully take the reed out of its case and put the thin end in your mouth. This will moisten the reed. This needs to be done so the reed can vibrate against the mouthpiece when you blow into the clarinet. To assemble the clarinet, take the upper joint and the lower joint out of the case. It's a good idea to hold the instrument on the black sections where there aren't so many keys. If you squeeze the instrument too hard, you can bend these keys, so be careful. Now put together the two sections. This clarinet actually has a notch in the middle that shows you that you've put it together correctly. Also, there's a small key on the side called a bridge key that can bend very easily. So be careful not to catch it when you're putting together these two sections. Next, put the bell on the end of the lower joint. Then attach the barrel to the upper joint. Next, take the mouthpiece and remove the mouthpiece cap and ligature, which has already been done. You might need to loosen the screws on the ligature to remove it from the mouthpiece. Take the mouthpiece and put it on top of the barrel. Now turn the mouthpiece so that the side with the hole is facing the side of the clarinet with no keys, except for the thumb key. This is the back of the clarinet. The side with all the keys is the front of the clarinet. Now, carefully remove the reed from your mouth and put the flat end, this end with the writing, thin side up against the mouthpiece so that the top of the reed and the top of the mouthpiece are lined up. Now carefully put the ligature over the mouthpiece and move it down into the correct position. Depending on your mouthpiece, this might be below the bump of the mouthpiece or almost to the line of the mouthpiece. The screws should face to the right of the mouthpiece. Now tighten the screws until the ligature is tight, but not so tight that you can't unscrew them. Now you're ready to play. After you're done playing your clarinet, you'll need to do a little cleaning. First of all, remove the ligature and reed. It's a good idea to dry off the reed first, front and back, before putting it into the case. Remember, thin side first. Do not leave the reed on your mouthpiece or it will not dry properly. Next, remove the mouthpiece from the clarinet and shake it out. You can take a rag and dry it off if you'd like. Put the ligature back on the mouthpiece and the mouthpiece cap on, and put the whole thing away in your case. Now you'll need to clean out the inside of your clarinet. Take your swab and unwind it. Put the weighted end of the string into the barrel and fish it through the whole body of the clarinet. Grab a hold of it when it comes out of the barrel and gently pull. Repeat this 2 or 3 times. It's important to do this so your clarinet will dry out properly. If you don't swab out your clarinet regularly, moisture can damage the keypads and bacteria can grow inside the instrument. This is all the cleaning you need to do on your instrument. You can keep a clean rag in your case to wipe off any fingerprints if you'd like. Don't ever try and give your clarinet a bath. This will severely damage your instrument. Now take apart the rest of your instrument, making sure to put the parts in the correct sections of the case. The barrel, the upper joint, the lower joint, and finally the bell and the lower joint. Now close the lid and fasten the latches.